All right, welcome back to Man Now Sports, man. Me and Chris, we go sit here and we're gonna reveal our top 25 list for the NBA. Our top 25 players, but we go do it a little bit different. We go bounce it off what the Ringer has on their website. They just recently updated theirs, so we'll go from 25 to 1. We'll talk about what the Ringer, what they got, and then we'll talk about our list. But first and foremost, man, how did you do your list? Like, what are you looking for to say that one player is better than the other? Like, how did you come up with your list?
My rubric was kind of like it was a mix of all around all around talent, all around ability. Um we've had this talk before. So like
Yeah,
I consider the best player in the world to have little to no holes in their game
on both ends of the ball.
on both ends of the ball. So
Okay,
so that's where my number one is at. And then everybody who falls in behind that on my list is I can kind of see the holes, but I can also see why what you don't lack you make up for. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of balance yourself out. But I mean, you have holes. So like the
right.
first two, three, four guys are like, well, number one is he's number one. He has almost no holes in this game. 2 through 5 has uh few holes in their game, and then everybody else just kind of
Yeah,
breaks down after that.
yeah. I kind of did it the same way, man. Like, I came up with a new term for because you've heard people say uh two a two-way player. You heard people say a all-around player, but those become so cliche that you can still hear those words and it still goes straight to when you hear all-around player. Those are the arguments you hear for the LeBrons, the Westbrooks when they get in that debate, and people will be like, "Yeah, Jordan, he's a greater scorer than LeBron, but LeBron's a better all around." I'm like, what does all around mean?
Hmm.
And really, what all around mean to people in the sports world, because it becomes so cliche. All around really just means points, rebounds, and assists. If you got a player that's getting high value or recording statistics in the points, rebounds, and assist area, then they call that all around. So Westbrook would be an all around player, and Steph Curry wouldn't be an all around player. And I
Hmm.
think that's wrong. So my term, it's similar to all around, but it's just a new term that don't automatically link you to points, rebounds, and assists because it's cliche. It's a 360 player, but because I'm saying 360 as a complete black basketball player and 360 on both ends of the floor. And by 360s, I mean you touch every area, and you're good, great to elite in all of those things. And when you think about somebody like Steph Curry on offense, he's elite with the ball in his hand, and he can score from all four levels or all three levels of the court, three, mid
No,
range, in
four
the paint.
levels because he can score from the other side of the court too.
Yeah, he's got a fourth level too. But I use four levels when I start talking about free throws, because I think that's important too, because some of these players can't even shoot free throws. You know,
Facts.
but with the ball in his hands, he's a threat from the three, from the mid range, and he's a threat getting to the rim with the ball. And then without the ball, he's also a threat running off of screens, catch and shoot. He can space the floor for you. If you want to be a playmaker, he can stand over in the corner and be a threat. You get what I'm saying? All those things. So I'm looking at that three. That's 360 on offense. Now on defense, he might be a little bit more one dimensional, because he can really only guard his position, which is the point guard. But that's all you need from your best player. Can you lock down your position?
Hmm.
Can you guard a point guard, right? And then on the other end, when you start evaluating players and you start to see that they can't make plays without the ball, they have to have the ball. So that limits what your team can do offensively, because now we locked into, okay, he has to have the ball and everybody else has to be standing around. You don't have value without the ball in the post. You can't come off screens. And the same thing on defense. Either you can't guard your position, like for instance, Luka Doncic, he's a point guard. I don't see him guarding point guard. So can he guard his position or not? Like for me, you're not a point guard if you can't guard point guards. You're the position that you can guard.
And that's not the position that he came into the league with either.
No, because they had Dennis Smith Jr. at the point guard position,
He was a
and
small forward.
and I think that's his natural position. He's 6'7", 6'8", 230 pounds. That looks like Paul Pierce to me. You know, so that looks like Glenn Big Dog Robinson. You know, that looks like Jamal. Yeah, that look like not Big Baby, Big Dog. That looks like Jamal Mashburn to me. Like you are a small forward, and just because you can pass and you can ISO doesn't mean you have to be my point guard. So that's how I did it. I did it that way. What are you doing on defense? What are you doing without the ball? It's just not about me looking at the stats and saying, oh, because you put these stats up, then you must be better than all these guys. So ready to get into it?
Let's do it.
All right, man. I know I was long-winded, man. My bad, man.
No, you good.
But yeah, I got the Ringers stuff pulled up, right? So at 25, they got Paul George. And how you feel about him at 25?
I can understand it. The injury aspect of it. I have him higher on my list, but I'm not mad at 25.
So how and that's a good thing. How do you factor in the injuries on who the best player is? Like being injured, does that mean somebody's got to be better than you because you got injured?
No, I think it's for me, it's when you are available, do you show that you're able to be missed when you're hurt? Like you can see a difference in the team when you're out injured. You know what I'm saying? If you don't make that much of a difference when you get hurt, and then when you come back, it's there's nothing really changes. You're not really a factor here or gone. Then that I kind of weigh that. But like the Clippers missed Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. They missed one when they had the other, and vice versa. Their game was very important to the Clippers' success.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one way of looking at it. But really, if you're the best player or the second best player when you're out, the team is supposed to miss you. So the way I look at it with the injury part is the injury taken away from your game? Like, when you heal from your injury, when you come back, are you a lesser version of yourself? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like when Chris Webber had his ACL, he obviously came back after his surgery a totally different player. He wasn't as good as he was. He didn't have the lift. He didn't have the jump. But, so that's an injury that took a player out of his prime earlier than what it should have. And it took him out of his out of his all-star level of play. But Paul George and people like Anthony Davis, they get injured. Yeah, they injury prone, but we haven't seen an injury that actually turned them into a non-all-star type player. They're still perennial all-stars. They're still borderline superstars.
Yeah, and PG had an injury that would turn people's careers.
Right. He had that Gordon Hayward, Sean Livingston, and Sean Livingston was a prodigy, and he barely made it back to the league with his injury, and Gordon Hayward, he has never returned to his all-star form.
Not been the same since.
No. Yeah. So for me at 25, I had Jalen Brunson though.
Okay. For me at 25, I had DeMar DeRozan.
I ain't had DeMar DeRozan on my list at all, man.
I like it, the old school mid-range game, and he could defend. So
that's interesting. I mean, I'm a DeRozan guy. It's just so many. It's probably another 10 guys that are deserving. It's just like, it's probably 10 guys that like DeMar DeRozan probably could have been 25 for me other than Jalen Brunson. So I think what made me go with Brunson is the fact, probably a little bit of recency bias. I think he proved this year that, he deserved to be ahead or mentioned ahead of DeMar DeRozan. I mean, DeMar had Zach LaVine and Vucevic and, a decent squad, and, I don't think he performed like he was a top 25 man. Jalen Brunson did.
For me, Jalen Brunson, I respect the season that he had. First one out from under Luka, so he was able to actually showcase what he could do when he has the ball in his hands. But for me, I'm a consistency guy, so I need to see it again. And
Okay.
I got him in my honorable mentions. But if he does it again next season,
Yeah, then it's okay.
then
So
we
if
can start talking about him.
if you can repeat it, then because you don't want to give it to somebody early and then they can't repeat it, and now you got to take them out of it.
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying?
one
Yeah,
time is a fluke, but if you do it multiple times in a row, now
got it.
that's consistency.
All right, got it. All right, at 24, I had Bradley Beal. The Ringer got Anthony Edwards. Who you got?
I got Jimmy Butler at 24.
Sheesh.
I can't lie, man. That's probably being a victim of the moment, but
Yeah.
Kind of like what have you done for me lately? And Jimmy Butler, he might not be the most athletically gifted, or he might not be the best scorer out there,
Yeah.
but I think it just might be the fact that he can get you buckets. They don't call him Jimmy Buckets for nothing. He shows up in clutch time performances, and then it's just his will to win, that dog in him. He don't give up, bro.
Right. And for that reason, I got him way higher than 24.
I'm not mad at that. But
I got him way higher than 24. Spoiler alert, I got Jimmy Butler higher than 24. So who you think better between the 24? Okay, Anthony Edwards by the Ringer. You got Butler, I got Bill. Who's better out of those three dudes? Who's the better basketball player?
The better basketball player?
Yeah, I could say in the future it's easily going to be Anthony Edwards.
Oh yeah, if we forecast him,
right
now,
it's
Jimmy Butler.
Really, you think it's Butler over Bill?
Those three right now is Bill has a chance to show us this year though, but right now,
so you would rather have, if you Phoenix, you would rather have Butler than Bill?
Oh, see, no, because it's all about what you already have in place too.
Okay, I think offensively, I think offensively Bill better than Butler, but I think when you
no, yeah, for sure.
When you add the defense, that makes Butler better.
Yeah.
So I'm comfortable with Butler being here at 24. And I'm comfortable that I got Butler a little higher.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So at 23, the Ringer has Mr. Trae Young. At 23, who do you got, sir?
I got Bradley Beal at 23.
That's fair. Well, I mean, we got Bradley Beal very close. So the Ringer got Trae Young at 23, and I got Jamal Murray.
Whoo! Spoiler alert! I got Jamal higher than that.
Yeah. Okay. So all right. So I'm gonna tell you why I can understand why the Ringer got Trae Young here. Cause defense. I think defensively his size just
liability.
Yeah, just makes him too close of a liability. Now I think he can guard his position enough. I think if he had to guard Steph, he could do a decent job. But the bigger the point guard gets, the harder it's gonna be for Trae Young on the defensive end. But it's not for lack of effort. It's not for lack of intensity. It's not because he don't know how to slide his feet, move his feet. He's just a slight of frame. So that's really his only knock is his size on defense. But what he brings to the offensive end. I mean, I got Trae slightly higher. We'll see where I got Trae in a minute, but I got him slightly higher. But I got Jamal Murray at 23. And why I got Trae Young over Jamal Murray, it's kind of the same thing what you said with Bronson, man. Like, let me see it again. For me to know it's real. But
I can understand that, but with Murray, it's a little different. We saw glimpses of it, but it was the dual impact of being overshadowed by the league takeover of Jokic and the injury.
Yeah, of course.
So we've seen. So if he can have a healthy year, and he does it again, or he does it better, then it's like, okay, now we can start talking about Jamal.
Possibly, but here's my thing.
Because remember, I don't even think he was top 10 for us when we had that conversation. In
probably
point
not.
Guards. He wasn't top 10 point guards.
Point guards. I think I might have had him in the 10. He wasn't.
He wasn't top 10. No,
that's tough.
Yeah.
Well, so put it this way. One thing I will say about Trae Young is he's been the number one for Atlanta since he got in the league.
Mhm.
Right. And if I got guys at the same position, especially at the same position, and it's close, right? It it's close in how I evaluate them. I'm going to get a tiebreaker, or I'm going to get the edge to the guy who has the hardest challenge and what his job is. And for Trae Young being the number one, that's harder than Jamal Murray being the number two behind Jokic. Imagine if Jokic was on Atlanta.
Trae would be the number two.
Right, but imagine how much easier his job gets. Right, or imagine if Jamal Murray was on Atlanta by himself and Trae Young was on Denver. What would that look like? So I actually think Denver might be better.
I like that. One person's job is the number one versus. I like that. I like how you put that.
But nonetheless, I got Jamal Murray at 23, and you said you had Bill.
I got Bradley Bill at 23.
So Mr. $304 million contract.
First off, shout out to his agent.
Heck yeah.
Golly.
Supermax, man. You make first team, second team, third team All NBA, you gonna be eligible for that Supermax, man.
304 though, over 5.
Yeah,
they throwing out big bags
for that man contract to start at 52 mil. That is crazy.
That's sickening.
That's crazy.
That's wild. What's that? 22? We had 22.
Yep.
I got Brandon Ingram.
Not bad. I had him as an honorable mention right outside the 25. I had BI, I had DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, LaMelo Ball, Zion Williamson, Bam Adebayo, Sabonis. It's a lot of guys that could easily be in this top 25 by Christmas. Depending on how everything goes. Tyrese Halliburton, those guys, they was on my honorable mention, but I got Trae Young at 22. So you see, I had Young and Murray very close, and the tiebreaker went to the number one over the number two. But yeah, I got Trae Young at 22, and you said you had who?
Brandon Ingram.
That's not bad.
I put him there just because of the kind of situation that he's in. It's not by choice. He's playing the cards he got dealt. The whole Zion situation, you don't really have that guy that's supposed to be the number one, so you got to kind of be the impromptu number one. But then you're not doing a bad job as the impromptu number one. Like you took, what was that? Not this past season, but season before last, when they took Phoenix to
6 or 7
games.
Yeah, that was a good series. But all the guys that's under him right now on your list, do you feel very confident that he's a better basketball player than everybody that's under him? Because you got Butler under him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel very confident that he's a better basketball player than Jimmy Butler?
I could say right now, yeah.
Okay, but hey, that's all that matters. If you feel good about it, I feel great about it. All right, Bam is not on my list. They got him at number 21.
Bam wasn't on my list at all.
He not?
Nah.
Yeah, another honorable mention. So at 21, I got Anthony Edwards.
At 21, I got Ja Morant.
That's low.
That's low.
At 20, they got Domantas Sabonis. I don't have Sabonis on my list.
Neither do I.
Why not?
He kind of got exposed. So the game was fresh. It was surprising when you paired it up with De'Aaron Fox, but it was quickly found out. His numbers dropped, and it was just like, he was barely averaging a triple-double. And plus, he's a center, but he's undersized at the center. And so going against, actual centers like
they got him listed at 6'11". If anybody undersized, it's gonna be Bam at 6'9". But Bam got more size weight wise on him.
Yeah, but Bam knows how to throw around down there.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I mean, when the game plan for you is we gonna let you shoot wide open jump shots, it's I started losing respect for your offense, man. That should never be an option for a player that's in the top 25. Yeah,
Right.
we just go let him shoot. He with us. Let him shoot.
And Golden State did that almost every game in them playoffs.
Yeah, and in 7 games you couldn't figure that out and expose that. Yeah, but he had an amazing season. I think he made All-Star and all that stuff. At 20, I had Donovan Mitchell though.
At 20, I got Jaylen Brown.
Okay. I don't have James Harden on my list either. Do you?
He didn't even cross my mind.
No, not even. and notice I didn't even mention him with the honorable mentions.
Not even on mine either.
No, I didn't mention him with the honorable mentions at all.
Oh man, I think that's just the name James Harden. You feel like
it's over. It's over, bro. Like, cause what he brought to the table was a lot of offense, and he don't even bring that no more. On top of the fact that he's outside of his physical prime, on top of the fact that he never played defense. So now you got no defense, you got no physical attributes that make you
a threat.
A threat. And you need the ball. You don't offer much off the ball. Yeah, it's a wrap, bro.
Not to mention you're inconsistent. You give me 45 here and then 11 here the very next day. It's like, no, come on, man. I didn't even waste the brain power in putting him on my list.
Me either. I had PG-13 at 19.
Okay, that's not bad. I have Trae Young at 19.
Okay, all right. It's a parade inside my city, yeah. My Blicky,
Mr. NBA dumb boy himself,
Bullet Boy. Why they got that picture right there, man? So Bullet Boy, at 18 for the Ringer. I think they taxing him because I think he could be a little higher. They tax him, but guess who I got at 18?
Who?
Bullet Boy. I got Ja Morant at 18. I got Ja Morant at 18, man. Isn't it ironic?
He could be higher on my list, but it was just, I don't know. This is where like the people that I have above him showcase like we can be above Ja Morant. It's not really a knock on Ja Morant's game. It's just where Ja Morant's game is currently, the people I have above him are just that much a little bit better. And that's how I got it going down from. That's why I got him at 21. But I got Paul George at 18.
Okay. All right. That ain't bad. A swiper, no swiping. De'Aaron Fox at 17 for the Ringer. At 17, I got Jaylen Brown, the $304 million man. But I think De'Aaron Fox deserved to be a little higher than this. I got him a little bit higher, but it's good that he's getting recognized a little bit now. Mm-hmm. I think he should have got first team All NBA this year over Luka.
Yep.
Did they put Luka at first team? I think they did. They put him at first team.
Luka, and I think they put De'Aaron at third team.
Yeah, they done had Luka at first. This dude been in the league 4 years. He done been first team 3 times. They just giving it to him. So even when he don't make the playoffs, he come in out of shape. He's fat most of the season. He don't play no defense. He's shooting 70% from the free throw line. He was shooting for most of this season. He started out shooting horrible from the 3-point line. Like even when he plays that bad and don't even make the playoffs, you still go put him first team. So basically, what they saying, it don't matter what Luka do. If he put up that near triple double, if he's getting 30, 7 and 8, 30.7 rebounds, 8 assists. If he's getting anywhere close to that, I don't care what else he do, he's going to be first team. That's basically what they're saying.
Pitiful.
But yeah, nonetheless,
who you had at 17? You said who?
Jaylen Brown.
I got Kawhi at 17.
That's gonna be a major big difference between me and your list.
I know. I know exactly where you had Kawhi at.
Kawhi at 17, is that because of the injury, or is that because when he was on the floor, he looked like the 17th best player in the league?
It's the injury for me.
Right.
It took him, but like the thing about it, and that's why he still made the list. But that's why I have him and PG grouped together so closely on my list, right behind each other, 17, 18. Yeah. Because Kawhi is a difference maker when he's healthy. The offense is there, the defense is there, and he definitely has the potential to be a top 10 or even a top 5 player any given season.
Okay,
But
I agree.
the injury, man, you can't discount it. The load management, you can't.
I don't think that takes away from him as a player though. That just means he got bad knees. So I'm the way I'm looking at this list and judging, I'm saying who's the better player? And I can't find 16 players better than Kawhi Leonard in the NBA. I can find 16 healthier players. I can't find 16 players that's better. So that's how. Yo, yeah, I see. So here's where the controversy go start. So they got Jamal Murray at 16 and rising. So wherever they had him at before they updated it June 16th, he's rose from that. So he's at 16. This is more of the recency bias. This is a moment. Yeah, this is a good place. I guess in their opinion that to have him. I had him at 23, so it ain't that far off. But at 16, I had Luka.
At 16, I put Donovan Mitchell.
Okay, all right. Let's talk about Luka at 16. Do I got him too low?
No, I think he's about right where he should be for us without getting canceled. I think he's in a safe spot. Because all the reasons that you mentioned.
Yeah,
I can definitely find what we're at 16, right?
Yeah,
I can easily find 15 people better than Luka.
Yeah. Now for how people in the media and how most fans do it, they go to the stats and say, if you're giving me 30 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, there's no way it's 15 players better than that, right? So if we just grading by the stats, that means I ain't got to watch none of these games. Just give me the stats, and I'll tell you who the better player is based on the stats. If that's what we're gonna do, then yeah, Luka deserves to be where the ringer got him at, which is like top 5 or whatnot. But if we're actually going and we're analyzing and observing the game, I have to talk about what Luka can't do. You know, now him getting that 37 and 7 was based on, okay, this is the offense we're going to run, and it's kind of impossible not to get 37 and 7 when you're that good. Like, you know, anybody on this list, if they played in that Dallas system, you probably going to get 37 and 7. Almost anybody, right? So forget about the stats for a second when dealing with Luka, and let's talk about what he can and can't do. What he can't do, or what he hasn't shown that he can do consistently, is play without the ball, and that's part of basketball, right? You know, I know what you can do with the ball. Most of these players on this list, if you give them the ball and get out their way, they can make something happen. So I know you can do that. If a double comes when you got the ball, you can pass. Boom. So that's 1 and 2. That's what he got. I can do something with the ball, and if the double comes, I can make a good pass and get the assist. All right. So that's your superpower, right? Doing something with the ball and passing it when the double comes. What else? Now, what else can you do? Because now you got a teammate like Kyrie who can get busy with the ball. So what you want to do while he getting busy? Are you standing there? Are you setting screens, picking and popping, picking and rolling? Are you running off screens like Reggie Miller or Rip Hamilton or Steph Curry? Are you standing in the corner like Robert Horry, ready to catch and shoot? Right? If I put you to the free throw line, can you knock it down with 88 to 90%? Right? On the other end of the floor, can I use you to guard anybody and you be competent enough to contain them, shut them down, stop them, any other three? And can you guard your own position? And can we ask you to show up in shape for training camp? Like all of those things, like, come on, when you start piling all those things up, man, how is that a top 5 player? It's not possible.
There's a lot of holes there.
It's too many. It's not possible, bro. So
especially when like the showing up fat, it contributes to the fact that your cardio is not up to where it needs to be. So now you can't run around off the ball, or set screens, or like Steph's cardio might be the best in the league.
Right.
Because he's constantly moving. Like Austin Reeves was talking about that's why he shot so bad. He had no legs
Right.
after trying to guard Steph Curry. Like, make yourself available when you don't have the ball in your hands. Luka is either standing there with his hands in his pocket or he's barking at the ref because something didn't go his way.
Yeah. And the crazy, I'm glad you mentioned the Austin Reeves saying that, you know, his legs was gone. So Steph Curry's offense actually was a good defense as well. That's actually how they ended up beating James Harden in the Rockets that time with when CP3 tore his quad up.
Mm-hmm.
That wear and tear on his body that series was from chasing Steph. Trying to guard Steph is how CP3 got injured and missed. What he missed game 6 and 7.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what that was. Other than that, Houston might have beat the Warriors that year. You know what I mean? But CP3 was hurt.
Steph been they're gonna talk about it in the locker room in Golden State because Steph been torturing CP3 for years.
Oh, yeah, yes. All right, so we getting down to the last 15, man. Spider Mitchell at 15 for the Ringer. I got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at 15.
What? That's crazy because I got Shai Gilgeous at 15. We got
Great
one.
minds think alike, man. Great minds think alike.
We got one. But it's crazy that me and the Ringer not that far off on Donovan Mitchell. We just had a space in between. But yeah, I got Shai, and Shai has been consistent. It's just that he hasn't gotten the national attention like some of the other guys like Donovan Mitchell would, or your Trae Youngs, your Jason Tatums. But Shai has been doing this because think about it, man. OKC is supposed to be in a rebuild. Yeah. And they was one game from the playoffs this year?
Yeah.
All they had to do was win that one playing game, and then they was like, Shai is really that guy. He spoiled LeBron's record-breaking night.
Yeah, he did.
He was hooping.
He got that mentality. He go lock you up on D. And what surprised me is his ability to shoot the 3 in the mid-range. I didn't even know when he was at the Clippers, I didn't see that coming.
The Clippers hid his game. They hindered his game a lot.
Yeah, I think eventually it was gonna come out, but I don't think Kawhi could wait on it. He wanted what he wanted, man. He wanted PG-13. It wasn't a bad gamble, but it didn't pay off. So at 14, I got De'Aaron Fox. The Ringer got Dame Lillard. I guess Dame Lillard's dropping on a lot of these lists.
I got Jamal Murray at 14.
That's a little bit higher than where I got him. I got him all the way at 23.
just a little bit higher than you.
Yeah. All right. The Ringer got Shai Gilgeous at 13. I have Jimmy Butler at 13. So that's one of our real discrepancies is Jamal Murray, Jimmy Butler right now, and I think where we got I think that was Jimmy Butler and Jamal Murray. That's our biggest discrepancy. So I got Jimmy Butler at 13.
I got Luka at 13.
Okay. All right. You want to talk about it? No, we already talked about Luka. LeBron at 12 for the Ringer, and I have Dame at 12. So LeBron is outside of the top 10 for the Ringer. This is probably the first year that ever happened.
Potential GOAT.
Probably the first time that ever happened, man. 38 years old, bro. 250 pounds, 6'9". Sheesh.
Season 20.
Yeah.
I got AD at 12.
Okay, that ain't bad. I think we got everything right around the same thing because the Ringer got AD at 11. You got AD at 12. I have AD at 11.
I have Damian Lillard at 11.
So yeah, these our list is not way off. It's not way off.
Yeah.
Booker at 10. I got LeBron at 10.
I got Jason Tatum at 10.
Whoo, that's low for Tatum.
You think so?
Yeah. What did you have Tatum at last year?
Right around the same area. I wasn't a product of them making the finals.
Mm-hmm.
A product of the moment.
You don't respect him as a defender?
It's not that. It's that the offensive game is still a little too inconsistent for my liking.
Yeah.
But it's okay because he
because
does
with
have
that Boston system don't allow you to force many things.
yeah, and so I'm okay with it because he has a number 2 that is the true number 2 and can pick up the slack in Jaylen
Yeah.
Brown.
Right.
So it's like when one is off, but when they're both off, it's terrible.
It's ugly because they both be still trying to shoot them jumpers and them threes. And
It's,
like,
it's bad. I think I might have had Jason Tatum in like the 7 or 8 range last year, so he didn't slide too much for me. I got him at 10 because he's still I think he's still a dog and he's considered a power forward, which is crazy. So
yeah, I don't know why they got him listed at power forward. That don't make sense, but because they were starting those two. They were starting Smart and Brogdon in the backcourt, I think. So which put Brown and Tatum both playing both the forward positions, I guess.
Okay, makes sense.
I think things go get unlocked a lot more this year because now Horford don't have to play the 5; he can slide to that 4. But that might not be the best idea at his age to try to be chasing these 4s around because we got people like Tatum playing 4 and
Kevin
who else?
Durant.
Yeah, Durant playing 4. You know what I mean? So that might be problematic. LeBron playing 4. Yeah, Jay Crowder.
So do you think Giannis. you think you keep Al at the 5 and you put KP at the 4? Jason Tatum at the 3, Jaylen Brown at the 2, and you plug whoever you want at the 1?
Yeah, I think I would start Porzingis, and it don't matter. It's interchangeable at this point, man, because just depending on the matchup, Porzingis will go guard one person and Horford go guard the other, whichever one that they match up better with, right? So it don't matter who they got listed at the 4 and the 5, but yeah, it's gonna be a lot because they both. The difference between having Horford on the floor and having Robert Williams on the floor is Robert Williams was only a lob threat on offense. Like he's not going to stretch the floor. He's not going to be a threat to shoot it. But now you throw Porzingis out there with Al Horford, they both are a threat to hit the 3.
Mm-hmm. Robert Williams was just more of like for lack of a better term, he was like a poor man's Dennis Rodman.
He was exactly what Nick Claxton was for the Nets, but bigger with size. They both were shot blockers, both rebounders and rim runners.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
okay, I can see that.
Yeah. But for Booker at 10,
that's low.
Yeah, I think he could be a little higher. Now, mind you, this is a guy who's been slept on for so long. Remember, he had a record setting, or Phoenix Suns set a Phoenix Suns record with 64 wins 2 years ago. 64, and they was making that run. They had already made a run to the finals. They choked against Giannis. But then the season after the finals, they won 64 games and I think they had the best record in basketball and looked like they was gonna make another run at the finals. But we seen what happened against Dallas. What happened against Dallas probably should have never happened. I think it was a lot of manipulation with that, but that's another topic. But other than that, if you see what Devin Booker's been doing, and mind you, he led the charge for that 64 win team because I think CP3 was out a lot of games that season.
Mm-hmm.
Devin Booker, I kept telling people that he should have been in the MVP discussion that year, and he wasn't. People just not giving him respect. They keep saying he can't play defense. The dude can play defense. The dude can run the point. He can do his work with the ball. He can do his work without the ball. He can post. He's great on the break, and he plays deep. Like this dude is solid, man. 10 might be a little high, low. I got him a little bit higher than that.
As do I. I think last season, I'm not gonna say he's fully unlocked, but like last season,
close.
Man, he unlocked a lot of doors to get to that fully tapped potential because he was a man possessed.
Yeah, against Denver, 33 points a game, and he was shooting like 65-70%.
Efficiency, bro. He was. I think one game he was like what in the whole game he had shot like 70-something%.
It was killing,
and he was solid from 3 too. It wasn't like all just like at the bucket and mid range. So he was like 5 for 7 or 5 for 6 from 3 as well. So like dude was he knew his shot. He was picking them well, and he was hooping. I'm scared to see, especially since now they putting together some sort of bench
Yeah.
over there in Phoenix. Man, watch out.
Yeah, it could be good. This is real high for the Ringer to have Jimmy Butler, man. They got Jimmy Butler at 9. I got Kyrie Irving at 9. Notice we inside the top 10, and there's no Kyrie. We've went through a lot of names. No Kyrie Irving. I don't know what the personal thing is with the Ringer.
You already know.
Yeah. They will not show him no love, man. But I got Kyrie at 9.
This is the Jimmy Butler one, real quick. I think that's definitely a product of the moment.
Yeah. But this moment, I mean,
it's a big moment. It's very respectable.
He got there in the bubble,
yep.
Right? Then he got there this last season, and he was he in the conference finals
the year before.
Yeah, so 3 out of the last 4 years.
It's respectable. It's respectable.
Yeah.
So I can dig it. But at 9, I have De'Aaron Fox.
That's real high.
I like him in the top 10.
Yeah, I got Fox at 14. I had Butler at 13, Dame at 12. Yeah, Fox. Yeah, you know what? I want to move Fox up. I want to see him move up. We go update this list during the season, all right?
Yeah. We'll do like a by Christmas show.
Yeah, I want to update this. All right, so the Ringer didn't tax Kawhi that hard for his injuries.
No, not at all.
They didn't tax him too hard, so they got him at 8. I got Devin Booker at 8.
I have Kyrie Irving at 8.
Nice. I like it. I love it.
So you had him at 9, right?
I had him at 9. Yeah.
I got Kyrie Irving at 8.
Right. They got Luka at 7. They don't care nothing about his defense or nothing.
Can't jump over a phone book.
They don't care nothing about his fatness. How unprofessional is it to show up out of shape? Like, seriously, man. Like, I'm gonna show up fat 4 seasons in a row. I'm gonna be fat most of the season. I'm gonna miss games for fatness. I'm not gonna play no defense. I'm not gonna play off the ball. I'm not even gonna do anything off the ball. If you take the ball out of my hand, I'm just gonna stand in the corner. I might be over there resting. I might be over there grabbing a piece of chicken from somebody in the audience. You never know. It might be beer in my Gatorade bottle. Who knows?
Oh man!
And this is who you want to say is top 10, man. I got nothing else, man.
Who's your number 7?
Jason Tatum.
I got Devin Booker at 7.
I love it. They got Tatum at 6. I have now. I didn't really want to do this. I did this because I didn't want to fight a certain fan base. Because I actually think this dude is actually number 4, but I got him at 6. I got Joel Embiid at number 6.
Okay, it's not bad because now we're getting into the top 6. This is where 2 through 6 you can kind of pretty much have it however you want. It'll make sense to anybody who knows basketball. At 6, I got LeBron.
That's a lot of love coming from you.
You know this. As much as I cannot stand the man on the basketball court, 20 seasons, still putting up the same numbers, still doing this. He's in his 20th season and he's more athletic than Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
And he weighs more. He's bigger.
Yeah,
so
it's not hard to do that. That dude dedicating his whole summers to getting in shape and staying in shape, man. And I don't know what Luka do during the summer, man. I have no clue. He definitely ain't. I mean, like, you can't have no girl in your hotel room and take your shirt off and show that at 25 and be like, yeah, I still don't want to go to the gym. Like, at some point, there's another side of
it. His bank account is what keeps them smiling, man. Trust me.
I guess so. That bank at that, he better get his butt in shape, or he ain't gonna be. You see how quick Charles Barkley got out of his prime. It happens quick for the thick boys. Like you ain't about to get to year 20 holding all that weight. It happens real quick, man. He got to go vegan real soon.
Fast.
He gonna eat himself out the league. I'm telling you. All right, number
Top
6. Yeah,
five.
I had Joel Embiid at number 6, and then they got Joel Embiid at number 5. I had Giannis at number 5.
I got Jokic at number 5.
Talk about it.
eBay, you already know my gripes when it comes to Jokic, man. It's the offensive game is there. We all see it, we all know it, right? The liability on defense, the lack of athleticism, it all comes into play.
I'm not mad at the lack of athleticism. I'm not gonna tax nobody for that.
No, it's not a heavy tax, but you need to, like, as a center, you gotta to play defense. You have to have more than just your size. Your size can only take you so far on defense.
Yeah, I will say that as a center, part of your job for that position is to protect the rim.
Yeah,
right. That's first and foremost for a 7-footer. You 7 foot and you play center. We're expecting you to be able to protect the rim, and athleticism is going to help you protect the rim better. And if you're not athletic and you can't protect the rim, and your lack of athleticism also prohibits you from switching screens and guarding the perimeter, then what do we go use you for on defense? If you're not blocking blocking shots, and you can't protect the dribble drive when you switch screens, then what are you here for?
Exactly.
So
I tax the lack of defensibility. That's huge for me, and we've talked about this before as when we were talking about just as far as our top big men, why he's not my number 1.
Yeah, Joel was my number 1 for a long time, but when I made this list, I was like, man, I just, out of respect for what Jokic just did, this great run in the playoffs, out of respect for that, I got to give him the edge over Embiid. He didn't because he didn't flame out. He didn't flame out this playoffs, and Embiid did flame out. So I got to give him the edge.
Yes,
all right,
who you
at number 5? I had Giannis.
Right.
Kind of the same deal with Jokic. Jokic got a bag full of offense and a bag with a hole in it on defense. It's the opposite for Giannis. He got a bag full of defense, and on the offensive end, he can get you the numbers, but that bag got all his bag got in it is speed, athleticism, and power. Yeah. That's all it is in his bag for Giannis. So I got him at 5. A lot of people not too long ago had him as the number 1 player in the league, and true number 1s just don't lose that position because they didn't get to the finals. If you was really a number 1, you will stay there for a while, regardless if you make it to the finals or not, right? And the fact that we got a new number 1 every year based on who win the finals, because I want to say when LeBron won it in the bubble, they had him at number 1. The next year when Steph won it, they had Steph at number 1. The next year when Giannis won it, they had Giannis at number 1. The next year when Steph won it, they had Steph at number 1, and they said Steph was better than Isaiah. And then now that this year that Jokic won it, they're saying Jokic number 1.
Yeah.
Number 4, they got Kevin Durant. I got Jokic at number 4 for the same reasons you had him at number 5.
I have Giannis at number 4.
See that? They got Giannis at number 3. I got Kawhi Leonard at number 3.
Which, when I seen that, I was like, this man has him high.
Yeah, I mean, the Ringer had him at 8.
Yeah,
like I said, I didn't tax people for injuries or off court issues.
I got Joel Embiid at 3.
Yeah, I wanted Joel Embiid that high. If I probably had to do it over, if I really wanted to truly do it, I probably would have Embiid 3, Kawhi 4, Jokic 5, Giannis 6.
Yeah, that 5-6 discussion gonna be an episode by itself.
Oh yeah. All right, so number 2 they got Steph, and I had Steph number 2 as well.
I had Steph number 2 as well.
And then number 1 they got Jokic with his non-defense playing self. I got Kevin Durant at number 1. Kevin Durant is easily the best player in the league right now, but I'm not gonna be the dead horse. You tell me, because I know you got KD at number 1. You tell me why you got Kevin Durant at number 1.
Kevin Durant, as I said at the beginning, I stated what my criteria is for the best player in the world. Kevin Durant is that person that has the least amount of holes in his game. 3-level scorer, can play off ball, can play with the ball in his hand. Free throw, he's a career 92, 93 percent free throw shooter.
Mm-hmm.
He has a post game that's part of that 3-level. He plays defense. He can guard out on the perimeter as a big. He can, and now he's in the last few years developed a post defense. So now it's not guaranteed that you can go down there and just score on them. That's just all around. That's when you said 360 player,
Mm-hmm.
that was Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is the closest thing to a 360 player currently in the league.
And I think Kawhi as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, his free throws could be a little bit better. But as far as it's like when it's trying, and a lot of these people, a lot of players, a lot of other analysts, they say that Kevin Durant is the hardest person to guard.
Of course,
it's not an understatement because he can beat you from anywhere. He can create his own shot, catch and shoot, dribble skills like a guard at 6'11", 7 foot in shoes. You know what I'm saying? Take you off the dribble. You know, it's all his game. His bag is he's in it like the fries at the bottom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you add in the defensive aspect, he's not a liability. You know what I'm saying? So he's gonna give you effort. He's gonna give you 100% effort on both sides of the ball every night.
I like what he did when he went and played. He came fresh off that Achilles, played one season in Brooklyn, and then went straight to the Olympics and led a skeleton crew. Not a crew that had Melo, LeBron, AD. He didn't CP3, Steph. He didn't have a squad like that. This dude had Sheldon. What's my man that played for the San Antonio Spurs? Sheldon Johnson. He did have D Book, I think. But he had a crew of number twos really and below, right? And they got out to a rough start. I think they lost a game early, and then they had a lot of close calls, and people was like, "Man, it ain't looking good."
I was one of them. I think it was I want to say Nigeria or one of them. I think it was one of them African teams. They got blown out.
Yeah,
it was bad. They were talking about it all on ESPN.
Yeah.
It was like our gold medal hopes are in trouble if this is the team that, because it was just an exhibition game. It was one of them little like tune-ups. It was like our gold medal hopes are in trouble if this is the team that we see when it's time to compete.
Yeah,
and then flip the switch.
And he flipped the switch.
I think there was video like he was really like getting in them boys heads in practice. Like, hey, y'all.
I'm telling you, these dudes love Kevin Durant for when they interact with him and they see how he leads and how he leads by example and how his work ethic is. These young kids are loving this dude. He's going to be the guy that when he retired that everyone's going to, like everybody was going to Kobe and his Mamba Academy. They're going to be going to people like Kevin Durant and Kyrie. I guarantee you that, man. And for him to turn that Olympic team around and bring home the gold, and he not only turned around that Olympic team, he turned Brittany Griner kissing him. So she like dudes now. He turned her. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you got to give that man, you like, come on, like who else could do that? You know what I mean?
Hey, he didn't ask for that kiss. Chill on my man's KD, man.
Yeah, but his leadership just brought that in there though. That was all leadership.
Kevin Durant, man, is a true student of the game. And I follow him on Twitter, man, and it's like people always give him shit like, oh, you so sensitive, but he's not really. If you look at what he says, he's just responding as a student of the game. He's breaking down. I think what was the most recent one? Somebody was talking about how Steph was probably the best off-ball player,
right?
And
which he's up there. He's one of them.
No, absolutely.
And at 7 foot, Kevin Durant comes off with screens and pin downs as well. However, the only difference is he don't need to run full speed to do it because he's already once if he just get a little bit of space, the fact that he's 7 foot is going to make up for the. But with Steph, he has to speed run through those screens to catch and shoot because he's catching over someone that's probably taller than him most of the time. You know what I mean? So I get why it would look like it's more effort, and trying to guard Steph would tire you out because he's running full speed and he's so conditioned. Well, Kevin Durant don't need to do that. Look, this screen go come, you go see it coming, and if they get full contact on you with their body with this screen, by the time I catch the ball, I'm already done rose up.
That's all the space he needs.
Yeah, that's all he needs. Yeah,
and even still, we've seen that. Hand in his attempting to be in his face.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. It's just like and for somebody who's as lanky as he is, he doesn't have any tails that he's about to shoot. So it's hard to because you want to guard, you got to guard the drive, you got to guard the pass, and then when he finally makes up his mind, only he knows when he's about to shoot. At that point, the ball is already he's 7 feet. We'll say the ball is at 7'2", 7'3".
When he jumps, it's probably it's above 7'5".
Yeah, so at that point, it's like when you throw your hand up, if you don't jump with him, your hand is at his chest. It's over. You know what I'm saying? So this is like the man's game is crazy. And then he was talking about because somebody had commented that he doesn't really have a post game. He was like, I've utilized my post more than ever over the last 5 years or so. Like his post game is sickening.
Yeah,
because he can back you down. He can do little quick fades. He can start doing little hook shots, and it's just like, at what point do you find a hole in this man's game? I mean, somebody gonna be like, he's injury prone. We say the same about AD. We say the same about Kawhi and Paul George. But at the end of the day, when you're looking at just game, there's nobody with less holes than Kevin Durant.
Yeah, he's it. Now I will say this though, there is a lot of material and space for people that are Kevin Durant naysayers to use against him, because we do have some playoff appearances like this year against Denver and last year against Boston that you could use in an argument against him. I get that, but my opinion is that the only thing that slows him down is how they decide to officiate. And I notice when these superstars don't have that whistle, they look totally different. And if you're not favoring Giannis with the whistle, that shuts down 25% of his game, because 25% of his game is running full speed at the rim, throwing his elbows and making contact. And some of that contact is 50-50. Is it going to be offensive foul or is it going to be a blocking foul? And it can go either way. And if the referees are really favoring Giannis, he's going to get out like a fat rat with those calls. But when they're not favoring him, his game gets shut down and his team is not the favorite or when they're playing good teams in the playoffs. And that's why Miami keep putting that thing on him. Now, with Kevin Durant, he stopped getting the whistle after he left Golden State. Yeah. But
felt good to be back, man.
Oh man, whatever, nigga, man. Trash, man. All right, man. We'll catch you on the next episode.